Morning, morning. Come up, come up.
Good
Seems
morning,
like a lot
Derek.
of people today. Morning.
I was getting a workout in while you were playing that music.
Nice. I finally I had to find my to put music on here. You used to be able to use on desktop, you could use YouTube music from YouTube to play on Club Deck on the desktop thing, but now it doesn't work for some reason. So I was trying to find my Amazon. I have like a little bit of music that I've outright bought on Amazon Music, and I had to like look up directions to find it. They really make it hard to find. So then I had to find some music, download it. Now I have a little bit of a stockpile, but most of it is because the only reason I buy music to actually have the physical or the digital MP3 or whatever is to when my daughter had a iPod that wasn't a phone or didn't have Wi, it was just a music player or whatever. So I had to have MP3s. So most of the music I own, other than a couple of albums, like a Lil Wayne album, random, a Kanye West album, Macklemore, I think a Bruno Mars, but that might have been for my daughter too. So it's like a lot of Katy Perry. There's a bunch of Kids Bop, like 8 albums of Kids Bop. So I had to find something that was more adult, unless you guys want to listen to Kids Bop.
No, it was good. It was good for emergency dance party. We need that in our lives in the morning.
There you go. I need hype music. I That's what I work out to. Or like for me to get hype or to do something, I need to get kind of angry. I need to get good and angry almost. Like I'm gonna crush it. Like yeah, that's what I need.
Good for you. That's awesome. I'll step back while you work out then.
Some good dubstep is always good. All right, we'll get started. It's 5 after. Are a lot of people today. It seems like. Either a lot of people on Clubhouse or a lot of people with Google Business Profile questions or problems, which could be the issue for sure. I bet all the people in here, there is somebody that needs verified or is suspended, which I'll talk about again today because others are starting to talk about it. But all right, I'll roll into it here. Good morning. Thanks for joining us in Google for Real Estate. We're here live on Clubhouse every Wednesday, 9 to 10. If you're listening later on the podcast or Spotify or whatever, you can find us. I don't put the link to Clubhouse in my Spotify show notes and Apple show notes. So I should. I'm going to put a link there so that if you want to join us live and ask questions, you could join us live and be here Wednesdays, 9 to 10. I'm Derek Bixler, residential and commercial real estate agent of 18 years, outdoor adventure sportsman, and Google marketing geek. In this room, we talk about dominating Google local search and getting business from our Google business profiles, as well as discuss other Google marketing tools and productivity tools and other digital marketing things. Replays are available on my website forever, right now anyway. They're not gated at all, and they're available on Clubhouse for 7 days. So last week's episode will get deleted today, and today's episode will be available on Clubhouse till next week. Please come up on stage if you are here live. Your participation is welcome and encouraged, or don't say anything. That's totally fine too if you just want to hang out with us. But I like people to come up. And if you do have a question, interject. Sometimes I ramble on, so just say, hey, I got something. I got a question about what you're talking about. Or if you know something or have an expertise or an experience with something, let me know too, because things like verification videos and things like that where I can't always go through the process myself. I rely on other people to tell me what the verification video process was now or how that live call went or whatever. So I know for the most part, but I do rely on sometimes other people's input to know what's happening because I'm not going to go unverify and get my own business profile suspended on purpose just to go through the process personally myself. So it is good to hear other people, even if you're not an expert. If you have an experience with something or something happened, I like to hear it. Or you might have something new happened or an anomaly or something. So that's always good. Please participate if you want to. If you don't want to, that's cool too. And if you are in a different profession or know somebody in a different profession or local business, all this stuff that we talk about here, we usually relate it to real estate, but it does translate to pretty much any other local business type as well. All the links for all the stuff you might need is in the chat. Discovery call if you need me later. Apple Podcast link, you can listen to it there. Like I said, Spotify link to listen to it there if you'd like to listen to it there. And the replays on my website, that link is there as well. And on my website, if there is a video screen share or some kind of attachment or template with it, you will find that in the replays folder on my website as well, like all the stuff there for now anyway. It'll be gated at some point probably. So all the links are everywhere in here. Today, I don't have a huge program. I got a couple little things to yap about a little bit. Then we'll do some Ask Me Anything with Google Business Profile and local services ads or whatever else. A reminder also to put your review link in the chat if you can find your Google Business Profile review link, which is pretty easy to find. Just go to your Google Business Profile, find the button that says Get More Reviews. I think that's what it says. And grab that link and throw it in the chat. Best way to get a review is to give a review and then send that person a screenshot of said review and guilt them into giving you one back, and also supply them with that easy to click link so they can go do that and reciprocate. So it does work. I'm a manager on a lot of profiles. There are a couple people, Denise being one of them, who is hardcore about it. I see a review or two almost every week. I think they're from this room, and some other people too, that are really like, they get at least one a week. I get maybe one a week or every other week maybe. So it really does work. If nothing else, it would be worth sitting in this room and just giving and getting reviews, even if you didn't listen to my mouth yapping. So if you're here live, check out the chat, put your review link in there, and also give reviews and reciprocate and everything. I'm at 88 right now, which is above average, but not crazy. And I'm trying to get to 100 triple digits by the end of the year. And I'm going to start sending out little star like trophies, I think, kind of like YouTube does for when you get a certain number of subscribers. I'm going to start doing it. I think for my clients, I've got a couple that have hit 100. Um, and I think I'm going to start sending out some kind of like trophy or something and make a big deal of it, because it is a big deal. It's hard to get them, and once you have them, it's hard for other people to catch up. So put your review link in the chat and give and get reviews if you want to. What do I have before we get to the Ask Me
Derek,
Anything? Yeah, what's up?
it's Diane, and I don't want to interrupt, but I have to get off the call. I can't stay in your room, but I wanted to share a win and a shout out to you because it's a win because of Google Business Profile. Um, we have a lot of reviews on there, and I worked with you and you helped us optimize it. And we just put a 1.05 deal under contract yesterday, and the buyers found us on Google. And they specifically said we read all your reviews and they were amazing, and we had a Zoom call and they worked with us, and now they're under contract. It happened to be the first house they saw, which was unusual. So I wanted to give you a shout out for that. So thank you for all the advice and help you give to all of us and working with you. And number two, I can't stay in the room because for those of you who might know Katie Lance of Social Academy, I'm spending a private day with her, a very intimate day with Katie Lance, who's an Instagram expert. She may also touch on Google Business Profile. She's here in Boston speaking tomorrow at our association's roadshow event. But today there was a special day that I paid for to be with her. There's under 10 people in the room all day with her and a brand expert. So I will be sure to come back, Derek, and share. I don't know if she talks Google Business, but if there's any tips and tricks, I will share them with everybody on Instagram and stuff. So I just wanted to say thank you, Derek, and you're awesome.
Heck yeah. That's what we love to hear. That's the goal right there. Real quick, is 1.05, is that like average price point? Is that above, below
That's a little bit
for
above
your area?
our average price point here is like 750 to 800. So we had to go over asking. It was a competitive situation, and um, so yeah, so it's a little slightly above, but not crazy above.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Um, Yep, and the whole thing, buyer agency agreement, and again, the reviews. I can't speak enough about how amazing it is when that happens, right? Like, we are big past clients, sphere of influence, hyperlocal team here in Boston, Massachusetts, the Boston suburbs. But I can tell you, like, getting a call, it's like, when others here have talked about their YouTube channel, right? It's like they feel like they already know you, and it's kind of the same way with reviews. It might not be video, but they feel like they already know us. It's amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, totally. You hit the nail on the head. It's not quite like YouTube, that level of trust, but they definitely have intent. Like they're not messing around. They typed in realtor in this area or whatever, and they have intent to call somebody and trust somebody right now. So they already have in their head, I'm going to trust somebody right now. So then they read reviews. I'm convinced people also pick on face, when you first pull up the results, you're going to be served up some faces and some pictures, and whatever resonates kind of with you subconsciously, maybe consciously. I tend to like to work with Uncle John type people or Aunt Betty type people, or I like the young go-getter person or whatever. So I think people subconsciously kind of pick on that and then look at the reviews, and now I trust the person and I'm going to call and I'm ready to do something right now. Um, and you did what everybody should do. I think you go right, you close the call. They're already ready to do something. Like in the movie Hitch, they're already on the first date with you. It's just your job not to F it up now. So if somebody
A
calls you
hun-
off of
oh, a
Google
hun-
or you,
a hundred
yeah,
percent. And oh, by the way, it's also not always a slam dunk, right? Like, just because they wanted to interview us doesn't mean they're not interviewing maybe somebody else who had a lot of reviews. So we've got to be skilled in all areas. And you know what? We've had some calls that they haven't hired us. So it really, it depends. It depends on, maybe you said something different that day. Maybe they wanted a different area, and you're not as experienced, or you're not as prominent in a different area in your market. So there's all different reasons. But yep, it's building that muscle. All right, bye guys. Have a wonderful day.
see ya. Thanks for sharing. Love that. Awesome win and 1 point $1 million sale. That would be three sales in my market. So I'd be very happy about that. And I know I got I got my highest sale ever for a while. Not that was surpassed, but for a while it was from a Google call. And I know two clients who have gotten their highest sales in the last year or two from Google. So those higher sales do happen. Sounds like in Diane's market most sales are up near that anyway, but still killer to get any deal, even if it's your average price point or below price point. If it pays money and the person is ready to buy or sell something, I'm ready to do it. And if it's not business I want to do, you can always refer it out. Um, all right. Thanks again, Diane, for sharing. I need to start. I don't do anything with these testimonials or wins that people share, mostly because it's a lot of work. But I need to snip them out and somehow do something with them when people do that. All right. So the things I have to share real quick: suspensions, like I've been talking about for a month now. It feels like every room I talk about it. Suspensions and verification scrutinization is up. Scrutinization in general of profiles is up. Up until now, I haven't really seen any articles or heard anybody talk about it, but just today, I saw an article in my Google feed. I have Google to like set up to serve me up blog articles about certain topics and stuff. And today, finally, I saw an article, and I'm guessing maybe more will come out or have come out that maybe I just didn't see, but from an article by Barry Schwartz, which is like one of the guru people of Google business profiles. Google, the title of the article is Google suspending many Google business profiles. So obviously, when I saw that, I was like, finally, people are talking about it. And it's actually dated the 19th. So that was a day after last week's room. So I feel like I've been talking about it publicly before many others, but that's what happens a lot of times. But anyway, so it is coming out. Other people are talking about it. In the article, he mentions that they are going, and he doesn't say how he knows this, that he has it from Google that they're doing this, or that he's just guessing this, but he said that they're going after certain industry types. And the industry types says Ben said this is going garage door trash. I got a clubhouse friend calling me right now. Or I almost said his name. I said the first letter. He was ignoring. Maybe him being on Clubhouse after a long time, seeing me sparked him that he needs to get back on his Google business profile. Get in the room, you. All right, garage door businesses. They're going after garage door businesses, trash dumpster businesses, and personal injury lawyers categories of businesses. So those are the ones he listed. And I then, like, immediately, there's a forum kind of below this where, and I'm going to try to find another forum. Not that it really matters. I don't feel the need to be proclaiming getting my voice out there. I know what's going on, and I'm going to fix whatever I need to fix. But anyway, I felt compelled to, in this forum right below, right in there, also happening to real estate, because it seems to be, I pretty much I do others too, but 90% real estate profiles, and all the ones that I'm seeing suspended are real estate profiles. So I think real estate is also one of the industries they're going after, or he's wrong and they're not going after certain industries. It's just a general scrutinization, and maybe he happens to manage a lot of garage door, trash, and injury lawyer categories of businesses. I don't know. But Barry wrote the article, but that was a quote from Ben, a different expert. So anyway, yeah. So I think it's happening to real estate agents also. It is, people are starting to talk about it. So it is a thing. It's not just an anomaly that I'm seeing, or not really something. It's just my clients are messing up their Google business profiles. It is a thing that Google has somehow turned up some dial to start suspending and disabling businesses. So others are talking about it now. So stay vigilant out there. If you need help, my last week I talked about it in my video and my email that I last sent out, was about, if you get suspended, do not appeal it. Most people do not know what they're doing. They do not include all the things that you need to include. Even when I'm helping somebody, I'm about to raise the price on suspension appeals, because it's a lot of management and going back and forth on my part, because there's a lot of documentation we need, and a lot of times people don't have it, and they just want to send me other things and be like, here's this, and I'd be like, no, that's not what I asked for. And it's 5 times back and forth. They're like, no, we have to have a utility bill. It cannot be. You have to, I don't care, like, get a whole new mobile phone with a bill in that name to that address, like, whatever you have to do. It gets cumbersome. Now there are some clients that, like, to a T, do everything perfectly, and they check the list off as they go, and it's very easy to manage. But some, it's just, even when I'm helping them, they won't do what they're supposed to do. So you do not appeal it unless you really, really know what you're doing, and you need to get all your stuff in alignment really, really perfectly, and then appeal it, because you really only have one shot at it. There is a last ditch effort, but I hesitate. And up until now, I haven't even told people that there was a last ditch effort after that one appeal. And I'm definitely not putting the link out and stuff for it, because like people are doing now with suspensions, they don't want to pay me or whoever else. It doesn't have to be me, but they don't want to pay somebody to help them with the suspension, so they do it. So then they get in, they're stuck, and then they have to call me. If I put that extra last ditch effort out there into public to the people that follow me, then they would go ahead and do that too, and then they would be completely done. No more chances, no nothing. So that's why I haven't said anything about that, and probably won't ever say anything about it again, because I don't want people to further, like, at least now, even if they did their appeal, I do have one more chance to try to get something done. Um, so anyway, if you're suspended, or even if you need to verify, they're both pretty much the same process, the same documentation. They want the same stuff. So either way, you got to really crush it. So other people are starting to talk about all that stuff, and we all need to be on our P's and Q's about it. What are my other news things here? A reminder to be on Bing Places and Apple Business Connect. That's more of a reminder for me to check those. Those aren't, I have most of my business profiles on those places, but I don't check them all that time. And they pretty much just sync with the Google Business Profile. But it's kind of a reminder for me. And I noticed that my real estate one on Bing is in verification, not published. So I'm definitely not going to get any leads from there because I didn't even know they had a verification, to be quite honest. That must be something new, or maybe I just didn't notice it. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I have others like Krista's I have on there. Hers is published and good, and I don't remember verifying hers, so I don't know what happened there. It also tells you if you're low confidence or very low confidence, which probably just means there's no reviews, and all the ones that I'm looking at that say low confidence or very low confidence are business profiles with little to no reviews, and they might not even show those to people on Bing. But just the reason to be on Bing and Apple Business Connect are they're probably the two second biggest search places for local businesses, although very, very little. Google still dominates that for sure. But they are probably the two next biggest places. And Google likes to see you on other indexes and search engines and directories and things. So to be on there to help your Google business profile and to also possibly maybe get some business from those places. Apple, I could see Apple maybe getting more prominent or more more action because they are starting to concentrate on building up their own business profile, their own business directory. They used to rely on Yelp for to feed. If you ask Siri who's the best realtor, they would probably feed it from Yelp, or on Apple Maps it would feed from Yelp. And now they started Apple Business Connect, well, a little while ago, to build up their own. And I talk to a lot of every person I talk to with an Apple phone. I always immediately, okay, do you use Apple Maps? Okay, delete that or leave it on there if you want, but download Google Maps and use Google Maps for two reasons. It works better, it's better, it's better, it's better, it's better. And also, if you're trying to be on your Google business profile, you need to have Apple or Google Maps downloaded to manage your profile. And also, if you use Google Maps to look for the local pizza shop, the local thing to do, the burgers near me or whatever, then you from a user end know what Google business profiles look like, know what you like to see when you look at a Google business profile. You can look at your own Google business profile and see what it looks like. So if you have Apple, I would download Google Maps for sure and use that mainly. But I could see Apple Maps and Apple Business Connect taken off a little bit more because the more Apple tries to move away from using Google stuff and creating their own stuff, then we might start getting some calls from Apple. So Apple Business Connect is what you would Google to add it there. And then Bing Places would be what you Google to get it on there. And for reference, Krista Lorenzo's business profile on Bing in the last, it's not showing me a time period here. Maybe if I click on it, from June 30 to right to the 15th of September. I don't know why it doesn't show me to now, but anyway, so what's that? Basically July, August. It's like 2.5 months ish, it looks like. So in 2.5 months ish of time, Krista got 38 views on Bing search of her business profile compared to thousands, probably maybe not thousands in 2.5 months. Over 6 months, definitely thousands. So I'll say maybe hundreds for sure, maybe 1,000. So 38 on Bing and on versus Google, where she's getting hundreds, thousands of views. So that gives you a comparison of what you might get on Bing or Apple. But they're super easy to set up. They sync with your Google business profile for the most part. So I would definitely set both of those things up. Bing Places and Apple Business Connect. And if you have a Yelp, Yelp is a pretty big directory. So if a lot of people don't exist there, and I don't know that you need to exist there. But if you do, sometimes you do already. Somebody you created it a long time ago, forgot about it or something. If you do exist there, make sure you look at it. Make sure you're in good standing there. The phone number's the same. All the stuff is the same, and everything's good and everything. Yelp would probably be the third biggest directory, and then all obviously Zillow and all the industry specific ones you need to be on and looking good too. What's the other thing? Paramount ads. This doesn't have to do with Google, but um, I was served up a Facebook meta ad, or I think that's what it was for Paramount ads, like the Paramount app, just like Peacock or whatever. Paramount has their app, and so I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Well, I didn't try it. I clicked through, made an account, and then created an ad, all but the video, just to see what it was about. So I learned that the Paramount ads are $500 minimum, which is true of, you can do ads on Hulu, Amazon TV, I believe. I haven't checked into Peacock, but I'm guessing you probably can. And I think like Roku and some of the other streaming services. So a lot of the streaming services you can now run ads on. Hulu and Paramount for sure, because the Paramount I signed up for and the Hulu I've looked into a while ago. And all of them seem to be a $500 spend minimum. On the Paramount one, I was able to space out that $500 over at least a month. I didn't test to see how long I could space that out. I don't know that you would want to space it out any further than a month anyway, but it wasn't like I had to spend $500 in a week or over some specific period of time. It was just you had to spend at least $500. And then the mock ad that I was creating, I did it over a 1 month period. And then what I noticed is, so these platforms, the ad creation part of it, super simple and not much to do as far as creating the ad. Not when compared to Google or Meta or any of those things. There's a lot more settings and things to do in those. For these, very, very simple to set up the ad. The complication comes in when you go to make the video. So I got to the end to where, okay, ad set up, now give us your video. And I clicked on the video specifications, and it was a good, like, I would have to download the PDF, print it out, and check these things off as I made sure that they were done. I mean, your grayscale and the blackness of your video, and like all these things that none of us ever think about. So it's really like a broadcast. They have broadcast quality, I guess, standards for the videos. So that's the biggest hurdle probably if you were like, I want to try some Paramount ads or some Hulu ads or whatever. That would be the biggest hurdle. You're going to have to create a video, I would say 30 seconds, like on Amazon. When I watch videos on streaming channels that I don't pay for ad free, typically the ads are 30 seconds. So I would say a typical TV ad is probably about 30 seconds for streaming. And then all the other specs that were, I mean, stuff that I wouldn't even know how to change or know how to do or whatever. So that's the biggest hurdle, is getting a video and making sure all the specs are perfect, and that it's going to convert. You don't want to do all that and then have something that's not going to convert. And if you made a video for that, I would then utilize that video on other platforms. If you're going to have something basically broadcast quality to put on one platform, I would be probably running that on, I'd throw that on YouTube too, and maybe Hulu and Paramount. I don't know, maybe test some out or see. But if anybody wants to test out that, feel free to do that and let me know how it works out. I'm happy to help walk through it a little bit. I don't, again, the video is going to be the biggest hurdle, is creating the video and making sure it meets all the specs. The rest of it, creating the ad, is not all that big a deal. And then obviously the minimum spend of 500, which isn't a crazy amount, but also isn't a $2 a day Facebook strategy either. So new ads, they do intrigue me. I would maybe like to try it someday, but not first thing on my list. And then that's all my tips and things. So we'll move it over to Ask Me Anything, Google Business Profile or local services ads or otherwise, or something I mentioned. So does anybody have anything going on? Questions, concerns, issues?
I do. I have a question. This is Donna from Dallas. Good morning.
Morning. That was quick. You were waiting.
I was, because this is the thing. I've been wondering whether or not I should even ask it. So if I didn't just unmic, I would have probably just listened. So do you risk being what is the word you called, suspended, if you change your profile picture on your account? I have two questions. Would that be a risk to getting suspended?
No.
Okay. And then my second question, I think I
Well,
already.
no is still the answer, but just to clarify and for people listening or whatever, when you say change your photo, there are there are three things in your photos section. There is the stockpile of photos, the houses and client faces, which you're not going to change those. You're just adding them over time. The logo would be one thing that there is only one that you would change out. And then the cover photo, which is your main showcase image, typically is the one that there's only one of them and you can change out. Your logo should be your headshot, not your logo, unless you are a brokerage or a big team and have to, but faces are better and they convert better. So the logo would be your headshot. And then the cover photo would be typically either another picture of you, or some kind of like a picture of the area or a monument or a landmark, or something really real estatey in the background, and then some kind of words on top of it, Carlisle Realtor or Premium Real Estate Services or whatever. If you change either the logo or the cover photo, it should not trigger any kind of unverification or suspension or anything. It is possible it might reject it if it didn't like it for some reason, but if you're not doing anything crazy, it should be fine. And typically, if it rejects it, it'll just say rejected on it, and then you just delete it and put a new one. With the caveat that right now they're scrutinizing anything. So I still would say no, it doesn't matter. Uh, but anything is possible these days. So official answer is still no. What's your other question?
Okay, my other question, I think I know, but I thought I was really creative there for a minute, and now I don't want to risk one of my agents getting suspended. So, you know how everybody complains about reviews not getting approved or posted, like the reviewer can see it, but not the one that received the review. And so we did. I know you're gonna slap me. I know we did I did a like a graphic that was like, you know, a review graphic, like what you would put on social media, and we added that as a picture in the thing because they were just really upset that that review didn't show up because they're trying to build like reviews. So I'm guessing that that is walking on thin ice, and I should have them delete that. Or do you think that's
No,
okay?
that's fine. So they just somebody gave a review, they sent the review to the person. It didn't show up as a Google review, but they have the review text and they want to post it on socials, make a meme out of it, possibly even post it on their Google business profile as an update.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead and do that. No policy violation there at all.
Okay, we've done it, and I just was worried because you've been talking about suspensions a lot here lately, and I thought, what if I just set her up for failure? So we're okay with that because that was what I thought was a good workaround on somebody fretting about the fact that it didn't show up. But I also didn't want to have them get in trouble over it. So, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's a great point. So for clients, sometimes you're not like specifically asking them, like, give me a review and then also take a screenshot in case it doesn't show up because sometimes it doesn't show up and you're making it harder for them and now they got to do all this work and send you a screenshot and I'm not going to do it at all. So if they do send you one, great. But if they don't, it is what it is. But with like agents or like in this room, if you're giving a review to another agent or to another business or whatever, the best practice is to take a screenshot of that review once you give it. I always text it, hey, gave you a review. Here's a screenshot of it so that in case it doesn't show up, first to prove that I did it so that I get the brownie points and hopefully they give me one back. But also, just because it didn't show up on their Google business profile doesn't mean I didn't say the words. Like those are quotable words that I gave you permission to use. I gave you that review. Doesn't matter that it didn't show up on your profile. So as the review getter, you have the authority or the ability to take that text and make something out of it, make a marketing piece out of it, share it in other ways. So both as far as Google is concerned and as far as federal policies and rules, which have gotten a lot stricter the last couple of years. I think you're also within policy to do it as far as Fed stuff goes as well. The good thing is you're getting reviews. That's the most important thing. Anything else? Anybody got any questions about anything else or about that?
I do have one more. I know it kind of goes back and forth on what we should do on our settings, but if I understand you right from a recent call, you think we should have. I feel like now I'm about to say the wrong thing. 24 hours on our hours, or no?
Oh, this good thing you asked me. Yes, no, that was something that we were doing. So for a while, they would call businesses to verify if they were open. Um, so we had to have our hours set to earliest and latest we would possibly answer the phone. And we want to answer the phone, especially if it's a 650 number, that's Google usually calling you. So for a while, they were calling businesses a lot, but then they stopped. And then they also changed the algorithm to the openness algorithm change, is what they called it, or some people called it, which basically now, if you depending on the time you search, if the businesses that are open will be pushed at the top and the businesses that are closed would be pushed below them, whether or not those businesses are better or have more reviews or whatever. It's the openness algorithm now. So they stopped calling people. They made the algorithm change based on openness. So then we started switching our hours to 24 hours because I want to rank round the clock. I don't just want to rank when I'm open. I want to rank at 2 a.m. when nurses and surgeons and logistics managers and all the people that still have money to buy houses are sitting on their breaks researching real estate. So we switched it to 24 hours, but now, as of all this recent scrutinization of profiles and them suspending people, and they have started calling as part of all this too. I have multiple people and at least one a week or so, and especially like last week and the week before that, I had a few people each week telling me that they got a call from Google, or is this legit? Is this call legit? And usually they're fake, spammers trying to, you're not verified. But if it's 650 and they're calling you and they say they are Google and we're verifying your hours, then that probably is Google, and they are doing that again. So we are switching our hours back from 24 hours to the earliest and latest will possibly answer the phone. So you do want to not do 24 hours. You want to do earliest and latest you'll possibly answer the phone. Most people do like an 8 to 8, 7 to 8, 9 to 9, 8 to 9, 7 to 9, or whatever. You do want to push it as much as you can, as long as you're going to answer the phone. If it's 10, then do 10. But with the goal being, again, to be open when others are closed. The same reason we're open every holiday. When Google says, are you open on Christmas? Heck yeah, I'm open on Christmas. I'm open on Easter. I'm open on Thanksgiving every day, until it becomes a problem. I mean, guess what? If I get 10 listing calls on Thanksgiving, I'll eat Thanksgiving dinner on Friday instead of Thursday next year. Um, so I would be open and push the hours as much as possible, but not 24. You need to be regular hours. If you have a physical location, it's even more important to have your hours more correct. If you're hiding your address, it's a little bit different, but still these days they're calling businesses. So earliest and latest you'll possibly answer the phone. Anyone else? Anything else? I'm kind of excited. This doesn't have to do with Google, but I'm starting a new YouTube channel. Per kind of in Content Club, we've been talking about a new strategy for YouTube and content aimed at locals. So I'm starting that whole thing. It's called Awesome Carlisle, and I've got a logo and blah blah blah. Built all the things. TikTok channel, YouTube channel. I did TikTok account, Instagram, Facebook business page, Facebook group, a website which is structured as a blog kind of news site. So I created all my things, and now I'm pretty much ready to go. I've created one long form. It's like a hiking guide for a place that I go a lot. That was more of a test to kind of get my editing down for things, which sucks. The editing sucks, but so I'm about ready to roll more. But what I'm excited about is I bought, and Noye actually, I don't know if Noye, you in the room? No, I'll see him later in Content Club. If your guys aren't in Content Club and you need video help, Content Club is the bomb. But we both bought. We were talking back and forth. He's like, I bought this. I was like, I just ordered that. So if you check out his Instagram, he has interviews with people, like the man on the street, and he just asks people like, what's the thing you like about Carlisle, or I forget where he lives. So my first thing is just gonna be, what's one thing you love about Carlisle, and what's one thing you don't like about Carlisle? Because I don't want to be all positive. I do want to be mostly positive, but um, I also don't want to get called out in the comments for always talking about the good stuff or whatever. So I ordered this mic. There's a mic you can buy. It's basically looks like a broadcaster's mic. It's a handle, and then it has the square thing. And I ordered a stickers to put on the square branding thing, so I have it branded like a newscaster's mic. And then at the top, you can just stick in whatever mic you have. So I have that little cheapo $25 wireless mic for my phone. You can just slide that in the top, and then the little foam thing slides on top of that, so it just looks like a broadcaster's mic. Comes with a black foam, a gray foam, and an orange foam on it. Um, so it works with the cheapo one, except I had to hack it a little bit, just a piece of tape around it to make that one fit a little bit better. But also the big square ones, I think those are the ones that would fit and lock in without having to do anything extra. But this thing is fantastic. It was like 22 bucks. I'm loving it. Has a good, nice little weight on it. Um, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And my kids like it too. My daughter wants to play with it and go do it as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Still waiting for my stickers to put on that. I guess that's what I'm waiting for to start that. I need my stickers to put on the branding, the on the mic, and then I'm probably going to start once I have that. And I also have business cards coming. I'm going to have some T-shirts and stuff. I also have lanyards, so I'm going to wear like a lanyard around. I'm thinking with this, I'm not going to try to blend in when I'm doing this man on the street thing or doing business on site spotlights or whatever. I'm going to try to stand out as like a news outlet kind of. And so my lanyards are these bright colors, the colors of my brand colors. The brand colors for Awesome Carlisle are Superman colors, yellow, blue, and red. Um, so my lanyards are yellow, blue, and red, and I'll just have a card in there with a scan code or something just to look kind of official. I think I'm going to give people on the street that I ask, I'm going to give them a business card, a sticker, and maybe one more thing. Maybe I was thinking just give them $1, which seems kind of stupid and funny, but people are like, oh, $1, actual dollar. That's actually better than a sticker or something. And then, or maybe like coupons to local businesses. It'll probably, after I start making connections and go further with it, get into something else. But I'm pretty excited about launching this and starting to do this. I am nervous about locals chiming in. I think that's what's stopped me from a lot of the content I'm about to start making, is that I'm going to start making comments and things about local stuff, and people have opinions for sure, and I'm going to get told what for if I'm wrong or aren't highlighting things properly or whatever. So I think that's part of my apprehension maybe, but I just need to do it and get over it and do it. So
Analysis paralysis. Just do
for
it.
sure, yeah, you're right.
You know what they say
Yeah.
is I forgot, do it and then apologize later. Something. But that'll be the controversy of excuse me for butting in. But that'll be controversy, and then people will want to watch you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's good. In that's what everybody else says. Any comments, and that's fine. And get over the haters, and you need to do it. And from the outside, before you start doing it, and with my other content, I never thought about it. But for some reason, with this, I know it's local stuff, man. It's going to be. So you just have to, yeah, accept it, do it, and get over it. People are going to have different opinions and blah blah blah. Um, I also put in my application to become a firefighter. So that's going to get me even closer in with like local stuff and knowing emergencies and being able to, I can even be on site, like reporting on that stuff kind of, as long as it's within what I'm allowed to do and everything. But that's kind of exciting and part of this new initiative to hit locals. I always volunteer and spend a certain amount of time in my certain percentage of my time volunteering. So I'm just going to switch a lot of that over to being a firefighter. And you actually, as a volunteer, they pay for all the trainings, and you can actually like be an actual firefighter, like go into how break down doors and go into fires and like give CPR and save lives. And like I don't. It's kind of weird that they would just let. I mean, I'm qualified and I would let myself do it, but it is. I thought it would be a little bit harder, or I don't know. Pennsylvania is a volunteer, mostly like 90% volunteer service, so I guess it makes sense. But I don't know. It just seems really exciting, great thing to volunteer, especially for me. I can't wait to break down a door and go into a fire. But anyway,
Derek, I have a question. If you interview people on the street, do they have to sign a disclaimer or something saying you could, you know, film them or put them on social media or not?
great thought. And yes, I'm going to have a clipboard, which also adds to my officialness looking. Yeah, so I went to ChatGPT and said, write me a release of liability for blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm going to use, I think. I talked to Noye. He said he didn't. And I don't know. I haven't talked to an attorney. Maybe it would be worth talking to one at this point. But yes, I do have a release of liability. I'm going to have people sign because I also, if I can, I would like to use their names and tag them and all that stuff. Um, which I'm assuming is probably the best way to go about that is to have them
Yeah,
sign something.
take your daughter and let her do the clipboard and have the what do you call it? Disclaimer signed, and then you can keep going.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Bring my daughter along. Get some free. Get my intern to help me.
Yeah. And then as far as, I don't know, how many people you're going to talk to a day? 10, 5?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's always people downtown, so it's kind of as much as I feel like hanging around. I guess I need to put some goal every time I go out to do man on the street interviews. I need to get at least 5 or at least 10. And I'm sure some people are going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
my thought is if it's 5 people, then you're spending $25. I would, if you're going to do it and you said give them $1, you know, I'm very frugal, but I would give them a $5 Starbucks gift card.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Really make it worth their while. Maybe put the logo on it, a subscribe uh, QR code, and all that kind of stuff.
Glenda gives out $2 bills.
Ah, great idea.
Oh, you got to go to the bank to get those puppies.
Yeah, but just go and get, one of them. And the other thing I'm thinking of, because I just love this idea, Derek. The other thing I'm thinking about is maybe you go and you bring an extra shirt or something. Because if you're on a roll and you get, say, 5 of them, but you don't want to be wearing the same shirt over a variety of clips, just throw in a different T-shirt or something. You know what I'm saying? After you get a certain amount, because you might find yourself that it's easier than you think. But yeah, she goes and gets $2 bills, and she uses that for just a variety of things, but including like tipping valets and stuff like that. So that might be an easy way, kind of an attention getter, but you're not spending the amount of a coffee.
Yeah, I love that. It's
Yeah,
less
and
than half of
I
the
used to
five
do the
dollars. Yeah.
same thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Great idea.
Do they still have? I guess they still make them,
Yes,
right?
they do make them. You have to go into a bank. Sometimes they have a couple, or they have to order them for you. Because when I go out of town, I would always bring them. And then, for valet, they're so excited to get them. I mean, $2, but people love them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I wrote it down. Yeah, and Noye said they're the easiest videos he's ever made, which makes sense. You just kind of ask, you cut the quote that you want. You only need 15, 30 seconds. And if I get 10 people, I mean, each post could just be one person. Like you could have a supercut being a bunch of clips put together. But it also, one day could be 10, 10 of those posts or reels or whatever. So I'm loving that idea. And
Question:
that, go ahead.
are you doing short ones? I'm sorry, I keep butting in. Are you doing short YouTubes, or are you doing keep going to make a longer one? Because there's
I'm gonna do both. So the goal is I want to have three wide longs to post right away. So there's like a little bit of like stuff on the channel, kind of, and maybe a couple foundational pieces or whatever, of which I have one, like I said, done, I think, and then I need to do two more. And then once I have those three, it'll probably be like a shorts 70, 80, 70% of the posts are shorts, 30% are longs. I would like to do interviews with people. So those would probably be some of the longs. I've got a lender here that was born and raised in the town that I'm doing it on. And I'm born and raised in central Pennsylvania, but not in this town. I've only lived in this town for a couple of years. So it's when I do stuff, it's from the lens of somebody learning to love the town, so to speak. And then I'd like to bring her in as the person who was born and raised here that knows all the things and yada yada. And then there's some other people, other realtors, other commercial agents, developers, just business kind of people that are all about Carlisle and know it. So I want to bring them in for some stuff too. Hopefully collaborate. The other easy thing, the man on the street stuff is kind of easy, other than if I get shy for some reason and don't like it. But other than that, that should be pretty easy. And then the other easy thing is the borough meetings. There is so much content in borough meetings. If you're not reading the minutes, or if yours has videos, that's even better. So every month my my borough has a meeting. It's live on YouTube. It is there on YouTube afterwards, and it's full of stuff. The last meeting was great. Like usually there's nobody at the meetings. The last meeting there were protesters there about like the Palestine Israel stuff, and they were like interrupting during the meeting. So that's a whole post. Just well, I don't know if I would talk about that, but it would be a post for sure that people would chime in on. Um, there was there were a couple of public people, like citizens can come in and raise issues or talk about things. Usually there isn't anybody. Well, 2 months ago there was somebody talking about certain intersections, and when we have car shows there are people getting hit by cars and we need traffic lights and speed bumps at certain spots. And then this last meeting there was a guy who apparently it sounded like he goes to meetings a lot, and I'm going to be reaching out to this guy to interview and hopefully collaborate with, but he just seems like a really concerned citizen, and he was there talking about certain intersections and traffics and stuff like that. And then he also chimed in to the Palestine stuff and was talking about that because he was a veteran and blah blah blah. So the last meeting was full of stuff, and that didn't even include all the things they actually voted on. Like, did you know that we went on our trash system went from a borough trash system where you had to literally go to the store and buy a Carlisle Borough trash bag and then put that out, and then they only take the Carlisle Borough trash bags that were like $7 a piece or whatever they were. So borough run system. Then they hired Waste Management, a public works or a private company to do the trash, and now they are going municipal again and going back to doing the trash, which will save the residents roughly $100 a year. It's like $400 a year right now. It'll take it down 300 ish. And there were other benefits and drawbacks of moving back to municipal run trash. They are not doing the bags anymore. There will be actual cans. But that was a big thing. It's money related. It's going to cost the residents things. We're going to get new trash cans that we're going to have to switch out. So that's definitely a post. And then all the other things they voted on, and they're always voting on money things. Almost every meeting, there's like where let's vote on $100,000 towards a new forensics lab computer thing or something, and okay, all in favor, aye, and these things just pass. That like nobody's asking questions about these or anything, and there might be meetings elsewhere about it, or they already talked about it maybe, and now they're just voting. But there's a lot of things that there's easily 10 reels per meeting, easily. Um, so that's another place too. And I'm lucky they do video them, so I can just watch the video. And if you could take clips out of videos, that would be, I need to ask an attorney about that. Because if I, just the clip of the concerned citizen for a minute talking, that alone just clipped out and shared on Carlisle community Facebook business pages or groups, that alone would get a billion bajillion comments and everything. And I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but it's public stuff, so I don't know if you can or not. But if you have the videos, even better. But even the meeting minutes are good to read through. However, meeting minutes are old, I found out. So, and it makes sense because I've been on boards and things. You vote on the last meeting's minutes the next meeting. So on the Carlisle Borough website, you can't see, if there wasn't a video, you can't see what happened in that month's meeting until the next month when they vote to approve the minutes, and then they add the minutes to public record and to the website. So if there's no video, there's no way to know first, so to speak, right away. Unless you're at the meeting, you would actually have to go to the meetings. So if you're relying on only the minutes, you're probably going to be a month behind, I'm guessing. I think that's how most things work. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And by the end of this week, I should have all my things together, I think, all my paraphernalia and setup and everything done, so I can actually start doing the damn thing, which I am nervous about, like I said, but I'm just going to drink a bunch of coffee and, and listen to some dubstep, like I said, get nice and angry, and then go out and be super nice to people. So that's awesome, Carlisle. Please do not look it up. Don't follow it. Don't subscribe to it, because you guys won't care and you'll mess my algorithm up. I'm being
No,
very
no, no.
tight about it.
Don't drink coffee. Don't drink coffee. You talk, don't drink coffee. Just,
I
just
actually
go out
quit
and
coffee.
you
Well,
did?
kind of. I go back and forth. I shouldn't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I try not to, but sometimes it's a good motivator. It works for what it works for. But anyway, yeah, awesome, Carlisle. And I'm being very strict about it. I'm only, like the Instagram channel, I'm only following people that are Carlisle based accounts and Carlisle stuff. So I'm only posting very only that on all those platforms, and I'm only following only that related stuff. So with this new thing, I'm being very strict and seeing if what everybody else says works to keep it very strict or whatever. Um, but yeah, ooh, we're at 10 o'clock. We filled up an hour. Sweet. Any other questions? Anything related to that? Unrelated? Thanks for chiming in, Mia. Always like hearing your voice.
Oh, thank you, but I had to get you while I could while you took a breath.
Yes, I get manic. If you've ever, I used to do a podcast. Want to move there? Well, I've had other live podcasts too, hundreds and hundreds of hours
Yes, let's
live
not talk
on
about
Facebook and
those.
whatnot. But I'm manic in there. Everybody, like, as soon as I click that live button, it's on. Like, whoa, this is. I mean, I think I'm good at it, and it's a lot of energy probably. But yes, it's kind of, it's nervous energy too, which is good, I suppose. Um, Better than being quiet and unresponsive. And I also don't like being dull. I pride myself on being a little bit animated and dynamic and not boring. And if you're looking at me, I'm usually moving, and also
You're
voice
not
and
boring.
animation are good. All right, I'll let you all get out of here. I don't have anything else.